what procrastination really is and why you do it will completely shock you. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you what procrastination really is, why you do it, and a 3-step strategy to help you leverage it. I'll get back to leveraging procrastination in a moment. After I've shared these 3 strategies with you, you're going to realize that every time you procrastinate, it's because of stress. And what you're trying to do is actually avoid the stress and just feel good. But the definition of procrastination is putting off a task until the last minute, even when we know that consequences, unpleasant consequences, are coming our way. So many of you are struggling with procrastination, just like I did for so long, because you don't really know what procrastination is and you're looking at it the wrong way. But that's exactly why you feel stuck, and that should give you hope. You see, you're not alone because everyone struggles with procrastination in one form or another. You see, I struggled and beat up on myself for decades when it came to quitting smoking, and it was actually easier than I thought it would be. I was done. No classes, no coaching, no Nicorette gum, no mood swings, or no drama. Yeah, so when I learned how to leverage procrastination, it was game over. Game over. Today, you're going to stop beating up on yourself as you start learning a little bit more about what procrastination really is all about. So through research, I found out that the only way to break the habit of procrastination is to find out what it is that triggers you to procrastinate. So let's talk about what's really going on when you get stuck in procrastination. I know what you've been told, but don't you want to know the truth about what procrastination really is? Well, it's not laziness, and it's not about your job or all of the stuff that overwhelms you throughout your day. You see, we don't procrastinate because of anxiety or the need to perfect whatever it is that we might be working on at the time. You see, procrastination is a tool. To be more specific, it's actually a form of stress relief. Our minds use this tool to protect us or release us from the stress that we're dealing with or probably going to be dealing with. So procrastination is a way to avoid stress. And according to scientific data and research, all procrastination is caused by stress. Asking yourself the right questions is a really important part in the process of breaking the habit of procrastination. So after you've watched this video, whenever you start to get in procrastination mode, you're going to ask yourself different questions. Questions like, what is really stressing me out? How am I feeling? And what am I feeling? You see, you can break the habit of procrastination. And when you understand why it is that you do it, you can start uncovering what it is that actually triggers you to do it. Just like there's a deeper reason why a person shows up to work angry, irritated, or just not wanting to deal with anyone, there is always a deeper reason why a person procrastinates, why we procrastinate. And we're going to get to that. But first, here are 4 things that you need to start doing right now to help you start breaking the habit of procrastination. First, stop labeling yourself as a procrastinator. So let's talk about your relationship with procrastination and what labeling yourself as a procrastinator does to you. And yes, every one of us has a relationship with procrastination in one way or another. You are not a procrastinator. Don't ever call yourself that again. When you take ownership of procrastination by labeling yourself as a procrastinator, you make it a part of your identity, and you also make it a part of your personality. Now, it is not a part of who you are, and it is not a personality trait. It's just something that you do. It's a habit. It's a broken pattern of triggered behavior that you need to understand better and leverage it so that you can fix it right away. You see, it's much easier to change a habit than it is to change who you are. That's the reason why you're stuck. You're thinking that you have to change who you are, and you don't. All you have to change is your relationship with procrastination. And then you'll see it for what it really, really is. It's just a habit that you can break. Well, a few years ago, I met a lovely woman and instantly we became friends. We set up a good friendship instantly. And there are nights that we would spend hours after work just sitting in the parking lot in our cars, discussing life, talking about things that we never discussed or talked with other people about because we felt that comfortable with each other. So ultimately, we put the wrong label, a relationship label, on our relationship, and it almost destroyed the best friendship that I have ever had. Putting the wrong label on yourself is what actually paralyzes you, because it's really hard to wrap your head around the idea of totally changing who you are. And your negative self-dialogue about this label that you put on yourself can get very intense. In fact, it could get brutal. So can you see how this could cause you to stay stuck in the habit of procrastination? And that brings me to number 2. There are 2 kinds of procrastination: productive procrastination and destructive procrastination, which is what we're talking about here today. Now, I was really intrigued to find out that there are 2 kinds of procrastination. Now, productive procrastination is really interesting, and it's a good kind of procrastination, as the name productive would suggest. It's taking a break to get away and clear your mind for a minute. It's going for a walk to get a fresh perspective on what it is that you're procrastinating about. And it's stepping away from the stress that you feel building up in order for you to relax. So if you are going to procrastinate, this is the type of procrastination that you want to be a party to. This is what you want to do, because not only does it help you to be more productive, it helps you to clear your mind, and it helps you to get clear about the things that you want to do or that you need to do. And it also greatly reduces your stress levels. And then there's destructive procrastination. It could be small things like getting on social media several times throughout your day. And if you look back, it adds up as you go through your week. And that's a lot of time that you cannot get back. Or it could be big things like not making the follow-up sales calls that you might need to make, not setting up the doctor's or dentist appointment like me, ding, 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 ding. You know, it could be also not studying for a paper or a test that you've got this week, or maybe you've got a speaking engagement that you got to do next week that you need to study for. And it could even be something as big as not applying for a job that you really want. So maybe you're passionate about something like art or music, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and procrastination is killing your passion and your progress. Well, don't worry, stop stressing, don't freak out, because again, you're not a procrastinator. It's only a habitual behavior pattern. And remember, you can change that. And you can change a habit easier than you can change who you are. Now, I've been really procrastinating when it comes to going to the dentist. I have to go back to the dentist to have them complete some work that they've started. And I'm really triggered by this because there's a lot of stress surrounding me going back to that dentist to have the work they started completed. So the last time I visited this dentist, it was the most painful visit that I've ever had in going to a dentist. I mean, if I thought about calling to make a follow-up appointment, all I could think of was that pain. If I thought about, maybe stopping by, all I could think of was that pain, and I just keep on driving. And here's the thing. I think about it every day because when I wake up in the morning, I've got to look in the mirror, and I'm reminded that I need to get this work finished. When I go out in the world, I need to talk with people. I need to approach people. I need to smile, and my smile has changed. When I'm making these videos, for instance, for you, it's really something that I think about because in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, am I being judged? Are you judging me? You see, because my smile has always been the biggest and most bright thing that I would offer everybody. That's me, my smile. That was my charismatic gift that I gave to everybody. And now that I have to dummy it down. I can't smile with my mouth open and wide and a bright, toothy smile. It bothers me so much. But you know what? The pain of not making that call to the dentist has gotten much bigger than the pain back at that dentist's office. All I want at the end of the day, all I want is just to get my smile back. Because that's who I am, and that's how I connect with people. And I don't feel like I'm giving everybody 100% of me. So, So I made the call. And I set the appointment, the follow-up appointment. And my heart was beating like crazy. But it's okay because the appointment isn't until next month. And I'm fine with that. The bottom line is I used Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. Count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plugged the phone and made the appointment. And it was painless. So I can tell you what it's all about as far as the emotions that you're going to go through, as far as the stress that's going to meet you face to face. And I can tell you also what it feels like to meet that stress face to face and tell it to sit down and set the appointment. So I'll keep you posted on that one. So I've procrastinated about a lot of things in my life in the past. Quitting drinking, drugs, smoking cigarettes, repairing my credit, starting my business. But I can tell you I've checked every one of those things off my list. And I'm glad to say that I've greatly reduced the amount of things that I procrastinate on today. So share, if you will, in the comments one thing that you seem to be stuck procrastinating on and you can't seem to get done. And I'll drop you a very encouraging line, because remember, it's only a habit. And until we replace it, it's going to keep repeating itself. And that brings me to number 3. You can definitely learn how to break the habit of procrastination. You can set the doctor's appointment. You can complete the application for the job that you really want to get. You can finish the special project at work. You can go to the gym. You can start the business. The reason it doesn't feel like you can do it is that you're stuck in what researchers call a procrastination cycle, and you don't understand what procrastination is. But that's okay. Because neither did I. As a matter of fact, neither do most of the people that are caught up in procrastination right now. But knowing that it's a habit should definitely be great news to you, because you can break the cycle just like you can stop a song from playing over and over and over again by turning off the repeat feature. It's just a matter of you having the right formula, the right tools, and the right angle of leverage. And the fourth thing is that all procrastination is triggered by stress. You see, you're not avoiding doing the actual thing, filling out the application, or doing the task. You're actually avoiding the stress that's associated with the thing, with the application, with the task. Procrastination is a learned habit that you repeat whenever you feel stressed. This is where the tool aspect of procrastination comes into play, because you're using procrastination as a tool to avoid being stressed out. You're actually using it to feel better in the moment. Whoa. Come on, Richard. What do you mean that you're using procrastination as a tool to feel better right now? How does that even make sense? I mean, how does that even work? But yeah, I get it. It's totally contrary to what we've been told and taught in the past, right? But it really is a thing. Seriously. So there's a man by the name of Dr. Timothy Peichel of Carleton University. So he has studied procrastination for almost 2 decades, probably a little bit more right now. And his definition of procrastination is a subconscious desire to feel good right now. Listen, I don't know where you are in your life right now. Maybe you're trying to work on your business plan. Maybe you're a CPA trying to figure out the financials for your company. Or maybe you're a student who's just trying to get that paper written that's due over the next couple of days. I don't know. You could be the one that onboards all the new employees at your job, and you got 10 of them to onboard tomorrow morning as soon as you go in. I don't know. But what I do know is that all of this stuff requires your focus and attention. All of this stuff requires the activation of your prefrontal cortex so that you can get into action and get this stuff done. But how are you supposed to get these things done when you're carrying around a bag full of stress because of everything that you have going on in your life? And you're worried about your future because you really don't think you're doing that good on your job. Maybe you don't have health insurance because you're a private contractor and it's too expensive for what you're getting paid. And right now you're really worried because you're starting to feel some aches and pains. And all of a sudden, your sympathetic nervous system is completely active, and it's in hyperactivity, as a matter of fact. And you find yourself in a fight flight, or freeze response. You see, procrastination, when we boil it down to the ridiculous, is just stopping. It's just freezing. So your mind gets stressed, and all of a sudden, your mind says, look, can we just stop? Can we just stop right now for a minute? Because I don't want to think about anything. I don't want to figure anything out. All I want to do is just feel good right now. So you procrastinate. You freeze because you want to feel good, and all this other stuff does not feel good. So that's why you put things off. You put off writing the paper. You put off doing the audit. You put off training the people, shooting the YouTube video, completing the work assignment, setting the dental appointment. You put it off because it's not the task or the thing that you're avoiding. It's the stress that's associated with it. You don't want the stress. You see, procrastinating helps you to feel a little bit better right now, but there's a huge price that you have to pay because you get behind and now you're a little bit more stressed. Heck, actually a lot more stressed because now you've got to catch up and you just don't want to go through all of that stress. So you freeze again. So this is what it's like to be caught up in a procrastination loop. You keep repeating this habitual behavior unconsciously, and before you know it, you just get really comfortable with being stuck. You get really comfortable with not getting anything done. Now, Mel Robbins said something really profound in her podcast episode on procrastination. She said that being comfortable does not mean that you like it. Being comfortable only means that you're used to it. You're used to being stuck. You're used to not getting anything done. But at least now, after watching this video, when you start to procrastinate, you'll be much more aware that you're procrastinating. And awareness is actually the beginning of being able to break the habit of procrastination. So what'll start happening is that now when we find ourselves slipping into procrastination mode, this awareness will actually trigger us into action instead of being focused on the stress, which triggers us into procrastination mode or to freeze. Now, please tell me that you caught that. Please tell me that you caught that. As a matter of fact, leave down in the comment a yes, that I got it, or no, I missed it. And if you didn't get it, it's okay. You can always rewind that and play it later on. How many times after a long day's work and you finished everything in the house and everything's starting to settle down, have you just sat around for a moment and thought about all the things that you didn't get done? Or better yet, all the things that you did get done but didn't do them to the best of your ability. And all of a sudden, for some reason, you're stressed. So, unconsciously, you pick up your phone and you start scrolling. Before you know it, 1, 2, 3 hours have gone by. And you become aware of it and you're like, oh no, I just wasted 3 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, and that's time that I cannot get back. Now you start the beat down because you've wasted all this time and you could have done something else. But you tell yourself that you deserve to take some time and just mindlessly scroll because you've been thinking all day long. You've been figuring out stuff all day long. You've been managing people all day long, and you just don't want to think anymore. You don't want to think anymore. And you're looking forward to that first shot of dopamine, but it's getting a little harder to get that feel-good feeling because you're doing this more and more often. And you get to a place where you don't do what's necessary in your nighttime routine to set yourself up for success the very next morning. And you, by default, set yourself up for failure. So when you wake up the next morning, how do you feel? Stressed. So here's the first step to leveraging procrastination. You have to forgive yourself whenever you find yourself or become aware of yourself procrastinating. Procrastination is a coping mechanism that you use. It's a tool, and you use it to lessen the stress in your life that you feel right now. In fact, studies show that people who do forgive themselves for procrastinating are able to break the habit usually quicker than people who do not forgive themselves for procrastinating. And you have to stop being so hard on yourself. You see, being hard on yourself is the reason why you're stressed in the first place. Always thinking about perfection, always seeking to do something better, always worrying if somebody else is doing something better than you, if someone else is doing a job better than you, always wondering if the thing that you have done is good enough. And you need to stop that, because that's the reason that you're stressed. That's the reason that your freeze response stops you in your tracks through your social media. Forgiving yourself is so important because it actually gives you permission to not feel bad about yourself. And that also gives you the emotional leverage that you need to get away from this procrastination thing and start your nighttime routine so that you can get into planning your day for tomorrow, which will help you set yourself up for success. But you definitely have to acknowledge and recognize that you are procrastinating. And by the way, speaking of procrastination, I don't want to procrastinate on giving credit where credit is due. So I want to thank Mel Robbins for the extensive research that she's done on procrastination. In her book, The 5-Second Rule, she dedicated a whole chapter to that subject alone, and it's so very insightful. As a matter of fact, I suggest you pick that book up because it's so filled with life-changing insights, principles, and strategies that it'll change your life. Most definitely, it'll change your life. So in the description, I have a link to my site where you can pick her book up because it's going to be one of the most powerful tools that you have. And stop thinking. I know, stop thinking. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go get it as soon as you finish watching this. Now, step 2 is that you really have to identify what it is that you're stressed about. That's why asking yourself the right questions is so very important. When you become stressed and you feel like procrastinating, the only way to distract yourself is to ask yourself, what am I really feeling here? What am I really stressed about? Because I'm stressed about something. And when you start to identify what it is that you're stressed about, you'll feel that stress starting to ease up just enough so that you can ask yourself this next question, which brings me to step 3. So step 3 is about asking yourself a couple of very, very important questions. You're going to ask yourself, what would the person who I want to be decide to do next? And you're also going to ask yourself, what should I do next to make sure that I'm becoming the person that I want to be? Now, don't get analysis paralysis here, because usually the first thing that pops into your head is the very thing that you know you should be doing. So just go with what it is. Go with that answer because it's usually the right answer. Just get up out of the bed, get up off of the couch, get up from the table and start reading that book. Start journaling or start your workout. Once you read that first word or write that first sentence or even position yourself to do that first repetition, research shows that 9 times out of 10, you're going to finish what it is that you've started. So it might even be as simple as meditating for a few minutes, saying your affirmations, and then hitting the sack for a good night's sleep so you can wake up in the morning refreshed. I can tell you this though, the future self that you're becoming does not want you to get caught up again in those dog rescue videos, TikTok dance trend videos, or stupid prank videos. No, that's not what the future you wants. These tools definitely work, but you have to use them. Use Mel's 5-second rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just start. Just start. If you do it for 1 second, whatever it is, you're probably going to go all the way through. So if you don't break this habit of procrastination, it's going to affect every area of your life. And before you know it, self-doubt, self-sabotage, self-hate, all that stuff that you don't want to feel is going to become the norm for you. And you don't deserve to live like that. So Did you catch how you're going to transform procrastination into leverage? I hope you did. In fact, leave a comment below in the comment section. Yes, that you did catch it. No, that you didn't catch it. And if you didn't catch it, it's okay. It's okay, because you can always go back and watch the three steps, the three simple steps again. Listen to the three simple steps again. You'll get it. In fact, if you watch it again, you'll say, oh man, come on, dude. How did I miss that? And it's okay, because you probably got just a little bit of stress going on. So this is Richard of RHCG Motivation, and thanks for joining me. Listen, don't forget to like and share this video, because I know you know someone who needs some help with procrastination. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when new videos come out. In fact, if you want more information on replacing bad habits with good habits, watch this next video up here, because that'll help you out as well. And please don't forget, it's never too early or too late to transform your life on purpose. I'll see you in the next video.